Everybody thinks these are tyre tracks, but are they? Something about these photographs bothered me when I first saw them. I thought, well, they're obviously tyre tracks. Thousands of people online thought exactly the same thing. The story seemed obvious. Donald Trump's heavily armoured motorcade drove across the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool while it was empty. A wee while later, the pool was drained again, and suddenly, there they were. Long, straight, dark lines. Social media exploded. People confidently declared, there's the evidence. Case closed. But was it? Because the more I looked into it, the less likely it looked to me. And I think this story isn't really about a reflecting pool at all. It's about something that every one of us does without even realising it. Let's start with the facts. The reflecting pool had recently undergone a multi-million-dollar refurbishment. Donald Trump later visited the site. His heavily armoured motorcade crossed the empty pool. That part is not in dispute. Later, the pool was drained again because further work was needed. Maybe repair work. Photographs appeared online showing long dark lines across the surface. Almost immediately, people joined the dots. Motorcade, tyres, damage. Simple. So it seemed. At first, I thought exactly the same thing, because our brains love patterns. Show us two related events, and we'll often assume that one caused the other. A vehicle drives across the surface, marks appear later. Well, that explains it, doesn't it? But then I started asking a different question. If these really are tyre marks, why do we know that? Not why do we believe it? How do we actually know? The more I searched, the more complicated the story became. Now, some reports say that vandals damaged the new liner, right? Several people have even been arrested in connection with alleged vandalism. Others argue that the problem started long before that. And another explanation has appeared now. Engineers and observers have suggested that the dark lines might not be tyre marks at all. Instead, they could simply be algae lines that become visible as the water level slowly drops. Something like the lines you'd see in a beach formed with stones or shells or seaweed as the tide slowly goes out. Suddenly, tyre tracks wasn't the only explanation. And that's when something struck me. Maybe this isn't really a story about the reflecting pool or how Donald Trump's motorcade drove across it. Maybe it's a story about us. Because once we believe something, our brains start looking for evidence that supports that belief that we have suddenly formed. Psychologists even have a name for it. It's called confirmation bias. Once people knew that the motorcade had crossed the pool, those lines became almost impossible to see as anything else, even if another explanation might exist. Now, I'm not saying that they're not tyre tracks. I'm not saying that they are tyre tracks. I'm saying something different, and that is that we just don't know for sure yet. Because one photograph, even two or three, can feel incredibly convincing. But photographs don't explain themselves, we explain them. Two different people can look at exactly the same image and see completely different things. One person sees tyre tracks, another person sees algae, another sees construction defects. The picture hasn't changed, only the interpretation. That fascinated me because this isn't just about one pool in Washington. It's about how information spreads today. One image appears online, thousands of people reach the same conclusion within seconds, and then everyone starts repeating it, long before anyone actually knows whether it's true. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But certainty often arrives long before evidence does. Now, when I first saw these photographs, I thought, those absolutely look like tyre tracks. Now I'm not so sure. Not because I know there's something else, but because I've realised how easily our brains convince us we've already solved the mystery. Now, maybe those really are the marks left by the presidential motorcade. Maybe they're algae left by the draining of the pool. Maybe there's something that nobody has considered yet. Right now, I honestly don't know for sure. And that's okay, because I think the real lesson isn't about the reflecting pool. It's about how easily we mistake confidence for certainty. Like the next time a photograph appears online that seems to prove something beyond doubt, it might be worth asking yourself a simple question. Am I looking at evidence, or am I seeing exactly what I expected to see?